What if your oil changes are not doing as much for your engine as they should simply because you're missing a few secret steps? Most people think an oil change is just about swapping out old fluid and moving on, but there are small, rarely discussed tricks that can make your engine run smoother, last longer, and stay cleaner with every single oil change. These are not gimmicks. They are simple, proven techniques that pro mechanics use behind closed garage doors to get maximum results from every drop of oil. And in today's video, we are revealing 10 oil change secrets that will completely change the way your engine performs, improving lubrication, preventing wear, and even protecting your engine from internal sludge before you start the car. And the final secret is something almost no shop will ever tell you, but it can double the long-term life of your oil. Number 1, always warm up the engine before draining the oil. Draining cold oil is one of the most common mistakes people make during an oil change. When the engine is cold, oil becomes thicker and sticks to internal surfaces. That means a lot of the dirty oil, sludge, and debris stays behind instead of draining out with the rest. By letting your engine run for just 5 to 10 minutes before you start the change, you thin out the oil and get it moving. Warm oil flows faster, carries out more contaminants, and leaves less residue inside the crankcase. The result is a cleaner drain, a cleaner engine, and a better environment for your fresh oil to do its job. This one simple habit removes more old oil every time and sets the stage for a smoother running engine. Though this step clears out the old stuff more effectively, the next trick protects your engine from something that often gets ignored, and it can make a big difference in oil performance. Number 2, pre-fill your oil filter before installing it. This trick takes less than a minute but can protect your engine from a dry start. When you install a new oil filter completely empty, your engine runs without proper oil pressure for the first few seconds after startup. During that time, metal parts grind with minimal lubrication, causing unnecessary wear every single time. To prevent that, pour fresh oil directly into the new filter before you install it. Let it soak into the media, then top it off again just before threading it on. For horizontally mounted filters, pre-fill about halfway to avoid spills. This helps your engine build oil pressure faster, especially during cold starts. The benefit is immediate and long-term with smoother startups, less wear on bearings, and stronger engine longevity. It is the kind of move that shops often skip to save time, but drivers who care about engine life always include it. That covers your filter, but what about the oil itself? The next trick upgrades your oil change without spending more and gives your engine an edge that you will actually feel. Number 3, add an engine flush before draining the old oil. Even if you change your oil regularly, small amounts of sludge and varnish can still build up inside your engine over time. These deposits cling to metal surfaces, narrow oil passages, and reduce the flow of fresh oil after every change. That buildup leads to higher temperatures and long-term wear. Using an engine flush, a special detergent additive poured into your oil before draining, helps break down that gunk while the engine runs. Let the car idle for 5 to 10 minutes to circulate the flush, then drain everything out. You will notice the old oil comes out darker and thinner, carrying more of the junk with it. You are not just changing oil anymore, you are deep cleaning your engine from the inside. And once you pour in the new oil, it has a much cleaner environment to flow through, making it work better from day one. Now that the inside of your engine is clean and ready, the next trick focuses on the drain plug itself and how a simple upgrade there can save you serious trouble down the line. Number 4, upgrade to a mechanic drain plug. Your oil filter catches a lot, but not everything. Tiny metal particles from normal engine wear often float around in your oil, especially in high mileage engines. Over time, these microscopic shavings can cause scoring on internal components, damage bearings, and reduce oil life. A magnetic drain plug solves that quietly and effectively. It looks just like your regular plug, but has a strong magnet built into the tip. As oil flows past, it grabs those tiny metal fragments and holds onto them until your next oil change. Instead of circulating through the system, that wear material stays trapped at the bottom of the pan, where it cannot do harm. Installation is simple. You swap it in once, and it pays off every time you change your oil. You can even inspect the magnet at each service and see what it's caught. That handles what your oil carries. But the next secret is about what your oil can do, and it starts with one small detail that most people never double check. Number 5, always check your oil viscosity against your climate. Most drivers just grab whatever oil weight is listed on the cap or in the manual. But if you never adjust for the season or your region, you might be missing out on smoother starts and better protection. You see, oil behaves differently in heat and cold. What works perfectly in summer might move too slowly in winter, and oil that flows well in cold weather may thin out too much in extreme heat. If you live in a hot climate or do a lot of towing, a slightly higher viscosity like 10W30 may offer better protection. In colder areas, switching to a thinner oil like 0W20 can help it circulate faster at startup. These changes still fall within manufacturer specs, but they fine-tune your oil's performance to match real-world driving conditions. Always check your manual for approved ranges, then match that with your local weather. It is a small adjustment that makes a big difference in how your engine runs and how long it lasts. Getting the viscosity right is smart, but the next trick is physical, and it fixes a mess most people don't even know they are making during the oil change itself. Number 6. Replace the crush washer every single time. This tiny ring might seem unimportant, but skipping it can lead to one of the most common post-oil change problems: slow leaks. The crush washer, which sits between the drain plug and the oil pan, is designed to deform slightly each time it's torqued down. That slight compression creates a tight seal that keeps oil from seeping out. But here's the part most drivers miss. Crush washers are single use. Once you tighten them, they lose their shape and cannot seal properly again. Reusing the same washer over and over increases the risk of small drips, gradual oil loss, and even thread stripping if you over-tighten trying to compensate. Most new oil filters or drain plug kits come with a fresh washer. If yours does not, you can buy a pack of replacements for just a few dollars. Always replace it during each oil change. It is cheap insurance against bigger problems. That stops the leaks before they start. But now let's talk about something that does not leak, but builds up slowly. And unless you do this next trick, it can quietly poison your oil from the inside. Number 7. Clean the PCV valve at regular intervals. The PCV valve, short for positive crankcase ventilation, is a small but essential part of your engine's breathing system. It helps regulate pressure inside the crankcase and directs vapors back into the intake to be burned off. But when it clogs or sticks, those vapors turn into sludge. That sludge contaminates your oil, shortens its lifespan, and makes the engine work harder than it should. A dirty PCV valve often leads to increased oil consumption, rough idling, and faster oil breakdown. And because it is not part of the standard oil change process, it often gets ignored for years. But here's the good news. Cleaning or replacing it takes less than 10 minutes in most cars and can make a major difference in how clean your oil stays between changes. You will find it near the valve cover or intake manifold, and in many models it simply pulls out with a rubber grommet. Spray it clean with carb cleaner or replace it if it is too far gone. Your oil will stay cleaner, your engine will idle smoother, and you will reduce wear on internal components over time. Now that the air inside your engine is flowing better, the next trick fine-tunes the way your oil behaves at high RPMs, especially during hard driving or towing. Number 8. Top off with high zinc additives for high-load engines. If you drive an older vehicle, do hard acceleration, tow heavy loads, or run your engine at high RPMs, your oil may not be offering enough protection by itself. Modern motor oils have reduced levels of zinc and phosphorus additives, known as ZDDP, because they can damage catalytic converters in newer cars. But in high-stress conditions, those compounds are what shield your engine's metal surfaces from direct contact. The fix is simple. A small bottle of high zinc oil additive, added during your oil change, restores that protective barrier without altering your oil's viscosity. It strengthens the oil film between moving parts, especially in the valve train, cam lobes, and lifters, areas that take the brunt of stress when your engine is under load. This trick is especially useful for classic cars, modified engines, or trucks that work hard. You will not feel it instantly, but over time it reduces wear, quiets noisy valve trains, and keeps your oil from breaking down too quickly. Your oil is now stronger under pressure, but what about during storage or long intervals? The next trick preserves your oil even when the car is not running, and it starts with a habit most people completely overlook. Number 9. Run off engine to full operating temperature at least once a week. Even if you change your oil on time, your engine is still vulnerable if you only take short trips or leave your car parked for long periods. When an engine never reaches full operating temperature, moisture builds up in the crankcase. That water mixes with the oil, creates condensation, and forms sludge, which is one of the worst enemies of long-term engine health. To fix this, get in the habit of taking your car on a longer drive at least once a week. Let the engine warm up fully and stay hot for at least 15 to 20 minutes. This evaporates the built-up moisture inside the oil system, preventing corrosion and helping your oil maintain its chemical integrity between changes. It's especially important during colder months or if you work from home and only drive short distances. Keeping your oil warm and active improves flow, keeps contaminants suspended, and reduces the risk of acids forming inside your engine. The oil change might be done, but the job of protecting it continues. And now that your oil is staying clean and active longer, this final trick shows you how to monitor its true health without relying on a mileage sticker. Number 10. Use an oil life monitoring app or deep stick test. Instead of guessing, most drivers rely on mileage or a shop sticker to know when it's time for the next oil change, but mileage alone does not tell you how your oil is actually performing. Driving habits, engine type, climate, and even fuel quality can all impact how quickly your oil degrades. That's why using a proper oil life monitor or even a basic chemical test can give you a more accurate picture. Some vehicles come with built-in oil life tracking systems, but if yours does not, there are free mobile apps that let you log your oil changes, track conditions, and remind you based on real-world use, not a generic 3,000-mile estimate. But if you want to go even deeper, use an oil dipstick test strip. These test for contaminants, pH level, and oxidation, showing whether your oil is still protecting your engine or breaking down. This final step takes the guesswork out of maintenance and helps you avoid both premature changes and dangerously late ones. You save money, reduce waste, and protect your engine based on real data. And now you have 10 oil change tricks that go beyond the basics and give your engine exactly what it needs to stay strong, clean, and smooth. With all 10 of these tricks working together, your engine gets cleaner oil, better performance, longer life, and fewer surprises along the way. Which of these tricks are you already using, and which one are you trying on your next oil change? Drop your thoughts in the comments and help other drivers get more out of their engines too. If this video helped you learn something new, hit that like button, share it with someone who takes pride in their car, and subscribe for more practical tips that actually work. Smart drivers don't just change oil, they protect their engines like it's a mission. Decide to be that driver today.